Hey, what's up guys? TTM Shuckle King here, bringing you my team analysis for the Took Minorities Summer Showdown 2018. It's always fun to play in these tournaments with March Madness and Summer Showdown, and Jolt does a great job running these, so shout out to him. So, last time for March Madness, I was able to make it to the All-Star Division by Jolt was running tournaments to see who were like the top 4 people that finished in these different tournaments could get an all-star slot, and I was able to get one of those. That was a pretty cool honor. I did not get past the first round of pools, which was unfortunate, but I was pretty happy that I made it to that stage in the first place. And last summer's showdown, I'm pretty sure was like the first league I legitimately got a team. I did the GBA FDL last time, but I did not draft that team. It was another team, and I was an alternate. So that was the first time I got a team. I advanced past the first round of pools, but not the second round of pools. So my goal here is to try to make it past both rounds of pools and try to play on September 1st, and then from there, we'll see how well I do. But I was kind of worried just because my draft pool, I would have to say, has to be the best draft pool out there. Ace of Games, Gregix, King L5, Mio, Pesky, Skitty were all in my pool, and everybody else in the pool also drafted really good teams. So I was a little bit discouraged by that, and the fact that I had 5th pick out of 8 was pretty bad, just because, in my opinion, there were 4 standout Pokemon, which were Mew, Tapu Koko, Celesteela, and Landorus. They were all the most expensive mons. Kieran Black was banned, and from there it was just a bunch of megas after that. So I did not expect to get one of those top 4 in being the 5th pick, but what I did want to try to build around my draft was either to build around Suicune or build around Snorlax, as they both seem pretty underpriced. I think Suicune was 12 points and Snorlax was 11. So I have 95 points for up to 8 mons, so with them being 12 and 11 points, that's already about the average of what each mon is going to be on your team if you pick 8 Pokemon, and they just seem really good for that value. My goal is to just try not to get a Mega until the very end, just because there's only 8 people in the pools, so there's going to be a ton of Megas available. I have like Mega Lopunny falls, maybe around 2 or 3 I would pick it, but otherwise I'll just wait until the last round or close to the last round to get a Mega. I would pick a Mega if I feel like somebody was going to snipe me based on their team. And then, just in general, I want to try to find Pokemon I consider good value. What I consider really good value is, like, if they were 2 points higher, I would probably still consider getting them at that ranking. And they include all the 18-point mons. Mew, Celesteela, Landorus, Koko, I would get them all at 20 points. They're all really good. Actually, I don't think I've ever used Lando T outside of like GoU, so I've never used it in any league, so it's something I want to try, but I wasn't able to get it. Others include like 15-point Garchomp, that could easily be 17 points, just as good as Mega Lopunny and Zygarde. Mega Aerodactyl, 13 points, seemed like a pretty good value, as well as 12-point on Mega Tyranitar. For one of the March Madness tournament, I did use Mega T-Tar as my Mega for, I think that one I came in, I did win that tournament. Another one was 12-point Gengar, which I used in another one of the qualifiers for March Madness, and I got 2nd place with the Gengar team. 12-point Ferrothorn seemed really good, 11-point Alakazam, 11-point Mandibuzz, 11-point Tornadus, and 8-point Espeon. They all seemed like mons that I feel like they're really good value, so if I can get a couple of them, it's probably a good idea. So how the draft went, you can see here, I did end up getting Mew. I think the first 3 picks were Celesteela, Koko, and Landorus, none any particular order. But King L5 actually picked the best mon available, which was Mega Gallade. So unfortunately, I was left with Mew. But no, Mew is really cool, especially because they are not banning the Immunium Z. So that's going to be pretty cool. I want to use Mew in a more offensive role, and I'm using it as my 1Z captain. So I'm kind of forced to be a little bit more creative with Mew. It can easily just run a defensive set and do really well. But I feel like offensive sets can do well with Nasty Plot. You got Calm Mind, Sword Stance, Rock Polish. You really have any type of sweeper. I want all the abilities that Mew has. It's great. Letting a Dragon Int, obviously, but you can't ask for everything. But no, Mew's going to be really cool. It has rocks, obviously, Defog, Momentum with U-Turn or Baton Pass. Basically, whatever I want to do with Mew, I can do. Mew's going to come to every single game, unless it's like a mono dark team or something. So with my next picks, I would have picked Garchomp. It was available, but it was not. Pesky picked it up with Mega Lopunny. That's a cool combo, Lopunny plus Garchomp. So I went with a more defensive route and picked up Clefable for 15 points. Clefable, again, it's more of a defensive mon. You can go offensive or defensive, but Clefable, you can really ask it to do anything in a defensive role, and it'll excel. Another great rocker. I probably have among the best rockers in the game with Mew and Clefable. Stealth Rocks, and a reliable recovery, as well as Mew and Soft Boil. Has good abilities in Magic Guard, so it's a status absorber, and it can also heal status with Heal Build, and which is cool for Suicune with Rest, or if I get a Snorlax and just want to run a Curse set. If I do get Toxic, I can switch out to Clefable, Heal Bell, and then bring it back in. Or Unaware, in case I'm really threatened by a particular Pokemon. I can just run Unaware, and for the most part, I should be okay with like Toxic, stalling it out. It has, being a Gen 1 normal type, it has so much coverage, which is really cool. Notably like Fire Blast or Flamethrower to hit Steels, who would otherwise wall Clefable. So Clefable and Mew are a really good combo, and both of them are just fighting, so it'd be pretty cool if I got Snorlax with this combination. Clefable also handles Dark and Bug types that scare Mew, which is cool. But instead of Snorlax, I decided to go with Suicune. I probably would have picked Suicune round 2, honestly, if Clefable wasn't there, but because there were some drafts where, like, based on my draft position, people picked Suicune before it would have came back to me, which would have been unfortunate, but it did come back to me, so I got Suicune. I'm pretty happy about that. Ridiculous 100, 115, 115 bulk, with not bad special attack and really nice speed for a defensive mon. The two most popular sets are Rest, like Calm Mind, Scald. Well, I guess it'd be Rest, Sleep Talk, and then Scald, and then the last move can be Toxic or Calm Mind or Roar. But I feel like this set is not as common as it used to be. I feel like people prepare for it a lot, so usually the more popular spread is like a max HP, max speed set, maybe a little bit of bulk depending on speed creep with Protect, Sub, Toxic, Scald. You can run Roar in one of those slots. You can run Ice Beam. You can run Calm Mind instead of Protect or something. But substitute Toxic, Scald are probably the three main moves. Pressure is also there. Protect is also there for pressure to rack up on your opponent's power points. That way they'll be running out of moves there to hit your Suicune with, or running out to hit the next Pokemon that I have that is also weak to a lot of things that Suicune's weak to. Suicune's really solid. I want to try to get a Toxic Spike user with it. And I want either Roserade or Greninja, ideally, because they both get T-Spikes and Spikes. Roserade is nice because it's bulkier. It absorbs the Toxic Spikes. That way I don't need to get another Poison type or a Defogger. If I get a Defogger with T-Spikes, it could be a little bit annoying. So Roserade has a real nice utility there. But Greninja is nice because it's faster. My draft is somewhat slow so far. It's not too slow, but I want at least one or two Pokemon that are above base 100 speed. Greninja can also U-turn, another form of momentum, but I don't absorb the Toxic Spikes. And I do stack some weaknesses to Grass and Electric with Suicune. But I decided to go with Greninja anyway. I do like the speed. I wanted more momentum on the team. Mew is really nice as a U-turn or Baton Pass user. It gives me a mana to over to 110 speed, which is really nice. The Dark typing is cool. I usually encourage a lot of drafts to get a dark type just so psychic types are not as big of an issue, though Mew can handle psychic types pretty well. Greninja can also go physical if it wants to. Let's see, Greninja physical moves. So we have like Dig, Dive, or here you go. You got Gunk Shot, Ice Punch, Low Kick, Night Slash, Power Up Punch, Waterfall, U-Turn. There's not a lot of physical moves compared to special, but there's definitely enough where you have to at least consider Gunk Shot for fairy types. It's probably the most common move there, or maybe steel types or something for something like Registeel that can usually take on Greninja pretty well. But yeah, base 122 speed is super nice. Had speeding base like 110s and 115s. It's also a fast taunt user. It has priority with Water Shuriken. If I want to, I can run it Scarfed. I feel like that would not bring it to the most of its abilities, but obviously Spikes and T-Spikes are the main draws of this mon on my team. So the next Pokemon I still have 38 points left for the next 4 Pokemon. I wanted more momentum on the team. Greninja and Mew are nice. I don't know if I'm going to run a lot of momentum with Mew because I want to run it more as a sweeper with Immunium Z. So I want to get a second momentum user. Another mono for base 100 speed to fill that gap between 100 from Mew and 122 from Greninja. I want something in between there, like 105, 110. And also, it can go Scarf. So if it has momentum, it can probably go Scarfed, especially if it's faster than base 100s. Another rocker would be cool too. So what I'm kind of surprised that fell this far was an Infernape. It fits my team really well. It takes on a grass types. That could be a problem for a Suicune plus a Greninja. If I want, it can also be a sweeper either with Sword Stance or a Nasty Plat similar to Mew. It has priority on both sides, a Mach Punch and a Vacuum Wave. Has nice 104 attack and special attack, so it's equally good on both sides. Though people generally run it more as a physical attacker just because close combat and Flare Blitz are more reliable than Fire Blast and Focus Blast. But it can run special for sure if you need to. And it has really nice additional coverage moves. As you can see in my battle against Hypertoad, I've brought a defensive Infernape. So I'm a big fan of Infernape. It'll fit my team pretty well. So right now, with my team, it's the 6th pick, and everybody ahead of me, so I had the 5th pick. So it's like going back up from 8 to 1. And for my 6th pick, all the people ahead of me, so picks 1 to 4, already got their Mega. So I don't need to get it until round 7. I would have wanted to wait till round 8 just in case somebody snipes my Mega. But I have 2 options for that, which I'll talk about in a bit. So I didn't need to get a Mega yet, so that's why I'm picking one of my 2 lower priced mons now rather than getting my Mega. And one of my lower priced mons is Palisand. I haven't used Palisand, could be garbage. It was like for, what was it, Brawl for All. Kamala was ranked tier 5B. I say Kamala's got to be better than that. So I figured I'd just try it, see how it works, and it's appropriate for that tier. It's not good at all. But hopefully Palisand can prove me wrong. It's 5 points. It has reliable recovery and shore up, which is really cool. Actually recovers 2/3 in Sandstorm. I didn't know that. But it has decent enough bulk. I wanted a ground type though to take on electric types because I don't have a immunity or resistant a team right now, and I have Suicune and Greninja, so that's a little bit of a problem. So it should take most electric moves, and it has enough bulk that it should take 2 Hidden Power Ices. It's nice that it's not quad weak to any type of Hidden Power. I should be able to live 2, shore up, and go from there. I have Stealth Rocks on this, so another Stealth Rocking option. So I have 4 on the team now, which is cool. It has decent enough attack and good special attack. Physical moves. It has standard stuff like Earthquake, Rock Slide, Stone Edge. That's basically it. But I can see it running physical over special in certain cases. We'll see. But his special coverage, his grass, ground moves, Shadow Bulb, Sludge Bomb. Not a whole lot of options, but it should be enough. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to be bringing it a whole lot, but we'll see. I expect really to bring my top 6 expensive mons to close to every game, and that was kind of my goal building this team. And it's also a ghost type, which is cool, so that way I can block the rapid spin to keep toxic spikes up, though I don't have like a mon that discourages defog, but that's okay. There's not too many of them. So for my Mega, I was debating between a Mega Kangaskhan and Mega Scizor. Mega Kangaskhan with Toxic Spikes and Fake Out seems really, really good. It's kind of like Black and White 2NU, where you had Kangaskhan Gorborder was one of the most popular and most strong play styles in the tier. It was a great combination there. And if I run Mega Kangaskhan, it's probably going to force my opponent to bring one or more Rocky Helmet users on their defensive mons. So that means they're not running leftovers, and that makes it easier for like Infernape or Greninja to try to rack up kills. And if I picked Mega Scizor, it's 2 points cheaper, which gives me a little bit more options for my my Palisand plus my last mon that I pick. It's bulky, still has strong priority like Mega Kangaskhan has a better defensive typing. It has momentum as well, which is certainly cool, though I probably do have enough at this point. It's one of the best defoggers in the game, so that way I can take that pressure off of Mew from being forced to run defog and forced to be a more defensive set. So at those reasons, I went with Mega Scizor. I would like to try and Mega Kangaskhan eventually, but I felt like Mega Scizor really fit this team. Gives me another option as a setup user with Sword Stance, so I have basically everything but Greninja and Palisand can set up and sweep teams potentially. Clefable in a more defensive role, Suicune in a more defensive role. Mew can be defensive or offensive. Infernape offensive and Scizor offensive. I guess you can run a curse sets are a little bit more popular now, so you could run a defensive setup. It's again Amnesia. It does not, unfortunate. Yeah, no, Mega Scizor should be pretty cool. Electric types are probably going to run Hidden Power Fire and like Special Mont in general, so that's going to be unfortunate, but I'll figure out a way to play around that. And the last Pokemon I went with, again, I was debating between Alolan Raichu and Vileplume. Alolan Raichu seems a little weird, but because there's 8 teams in each draft pool, that means every pool is going to be Tapu Koko is going to get drafted. So if I pick Alolan Raichu, there's a 1 out of 8 chance I'll be benefiting from the Soul Surfer ability, I believe it's called, from my opponent's Tapu Koko, which will be really nice, especially because my Koko answers are somewhat limited to a Palisand and a potential Alolan Raichu. So that's meaning it would be really clutch. Also a fast electric. It could potentially benefit from Psychic Terrain from Mew, which is also really cool. Vileplume is really nice just because it absorbs Toxic Spikes. Strength Zap is a really, really broken move. Lowers your opponent's attack and will most likely restore you to full HP. So it's super, super nice, reliable recovery. And it pairs really well with Suicune in a defensive role. But I decided to go with Raichu with the speed is also really nice. Gives me a third Pokemon over base 100. So it gives me options there to run maybe a Scarfed Raichu if I don't want to run Scarfed Infernape in a potential match. It has pretty good special attack at base 95, a little bit more than Raichu, which is base 90. And it has a lot of nice coverage. The Psychic type helps it out offensively. To give it more coverage, it's probably more of a hindrance defensively, but it's the give and pull you'll take. I wanted a more offensive mon if I was going to go with an electric type. That's why I went with Alolan Raichu over regular Raichu. So yeah, if I went with Mega Scizor, or if I went with Mega Kangaskhan, I probably would have gone Rotom Frost and Steelix instead of Palisand plus Alolan Raichu. Yeah, they would have been 7, and this combo I have right now is 9. And Steelix is definitely fine. Rotom Frost is kind of not as reliable of a defogger in that type of role, obviously, as Mega Scizor. So I don't know how often I would actually bring Rotom Frost in a defogging role. I could definitely see myself bringing it, but more offensively. So that's why I figured this path was a little bit easier if I want Mew to be in a more offensive role. So it's a pretty top-heavy team. Probably 90% of the time, 80% of the time, I'll bring Mew, Clefable, Suicune, Greninja, Infernape, Mega Scizor, and that should be pretty well. I really like this team. But maybe I'll be able to benefit from Raichu and Palossand. We'll see. But again, I'm pretty excited about this team. We'll see how well I do. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.